ringtone, free car wash. Had to clean up the Dodge. Give back when I can, just playing my part.
Let's get it again, man.
Mustard, hot sauce.
The beginning. Yeah. Well, that should be great. Oh, boy.
You know, today, I just woke up.
Fucking
and I said,
oh shit, and then I muted it.
Instead of waiting on a good day,
hey,
waiting around through ups and downs, waiting on something to happen, I just said,
you're gonna have a great day.
And all my homies gonna ride today.
All my homies.
And all these mommies look fly today. And all we wanna do is get by today. Hey, we're gonna have a good day.
You guys got a lot of
Nobody gotta cry today. 'Cause ain't nobody gonna die today.
Behind
Save that drama for another day. Hey, we're gonna have a good day.
hairline fresh, new cologne on, feeling so good, change the colors to my phone. Orange Kool-Aid, go
Why
good.
does it slow the fuck
Patron.
down?
No, hell no, boy. Still my
Good day,
ringtone,
mama
free car
friend.
wash. Had to clean up the Dodge. Give back
Kyle
when I
Langan
can,
is
just
coming.
playing my part. Church folks had a fish fry,
we're gonna check
mustard,
in
hot
with you,
sauce
see
like
what-
bread and French
see what
fries.
we
Love
do.
for the big guy. Hit the park, boy showing off the hops, nappy roots on the radio. And you know what about last night? Hit the pick 3, bought some Air Force Ones, 4 tall tees. Man, I'm loving BG.
Good day. And all my homies gonna ride today. And all these mommies look fly today. And all we wanna do is get by today. Hey, we're gonna have a good day. And ain't nobody gotta cry today. 'Cause ain't nobody gonna die today. You can save that drama for another day. Hey, we're gonna have a good day.
And I ain't fit to worry about what nobody say. I'm still above ground, and that's the reason I pray. Got my car cleaned up, now I'm ready to play. Make a call to the stick, say I'm headed that way. Heard my cousin cooking out, I gotta give me a play. Got this new outfit, ain't even out in the States. So if I ain't speaking too soon, but this a hell of a day. And the sticky got me sitting in a hell of a place. Got my stunner shades on and the grin on my face. My new grill looks mean, but I swear I'm straight. And the hood showing love, so I'm A-OK.
Have a good day. And all my homies gonna
Let's make sure we get it in. What's up? You guys make sure you head over to stillmaceflow.com. You're gonna see me doing some ninja stuff. Also Serena, that's Serena right there. Level 1 certification, boom. Half off. Over 80 videos, 10 chapters, masterclass flow instruction, access to one-on-one coaching, discounts for live certification. What? Boom. Hey, and then of course, level 2 just came out on April 20th, 420. That guy's $300 off. Less videos, but I teach all the classes live. You do get 59 motherfucking videos. Get your flow on. You know what I'm saying? Save that drama for another day. Hey. So you guys just make sure check out Stillmace Flow. If you guys want to be an instructor, there's a road to it. And it's right there, boy. We got some motherfucking, what is this? Hey, check this song out. Oh. Oh. Get it. I love this song. It's about backing up asses, I think. Who doesn't like that?
Wiggity, whoa, wiggity, 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 wiggity,
How y'all been doing?
wiggity, wiggity, whoa, wiggity, wiggity. Just came from the doctor. Add her to my roster. She got tummy tuck. She been Equinox and she used to have the banking. No, but she just got her ass done. Now she look like Oprah. She just got her ass done and she looking like a tow truck. And she sniffed it, and she sniffed the coke. Yeah. She said she for rich, nigga. She don't for promoter. Bitch, I am a rich nigga. Go ahead, bust it open like whoa, whoa, wiggity, wiggity, 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 whoa. Pick it up, drop it down low. She gonna drive the boat. She got that drip, drip, drip. She like a fire hose. She is a stylish bitch. She do not work at Exposed. She a designer bitch. She don't like fashion, no. That bitch swipe, she got a fortune. She don't like boots and doors. Don't get me started, that booty enormous. That shit is out of proportion. She got that boat splash, water. Jump on my dick and she rode it. She make it clap, 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 clap. Round of applause. Whoa, whoa, wiggity, wiggity. Whoa, wiggity, wiggity. Whoa, wiggity, wiggity. Whoa, wiggity, wiggity.
I will be taking over
wiggity,
the
wiggity.
Onnit
Whoa, wiggity, wiggity. Whoa, wiggity,
Instagram
wiggity.
page.
Whoa, wiggity, wiggity.
26th. That's right. They handed over the keys to the Beamer to your boy. And to drive the shit. I'm gonna break several laws.
Oh shit, hey,
Trying to do it
yeah. Don't talk to me, bitch, talk to my diamonds. Oh, this is an AP, not no brawler. Shit so icy, I can't see my timing. 4G's on that Hemi, bitch, I'm solid. Hey, quick respect on my left wrist, diamonds dance. VIP, I'm posted in my stance. Bitch, my outfit costed your advance. I just flew a bitch, I was straight for friends. Money coming, shit, I spend as fast as I get it. I'm so Brooklyn, look at my Timbs, look at my fitted. Your bitch on my dick, cause she like how my wrist hitting. Ride with the windows tinted, fuck nigga can't see who in it. Ayy, Puerto Rican bitch, good eating. I like my bitches freaky, she won't fuck you, you a weakling. When it comes to me, she eating off that plate. She wet like a lake, she wanna eat every crumb. Beat it like a snare drum. Hold on, wait, oh shit, on my diamond speak, reggae's all on me. She on my team, like I'm married for the G. 2 bands on my jeans, and my gang with me. Don't talk to me, bitch, talk to my diamonds.
Intermittent badass.
No brawler.
Guys, you
So
wanna
I
go
see, I
back
can't see my timing.
day long.
4G's on that Hemi, bitch, I'm solid. Hey, quick respect on my left wrist, diamonds dance. VIP, I'm posted in my stance. Bitch, my outfit costed your advance. I just flew a bitch, I was straight
Shout out to
1, 2, 3, it's just you, Molly, and me. 4, 5, 6, she do a line for my dick. 7, 8, 9, once I nothing you could slide. You know the vibe, you know the vibes. 1, 2, 3, it's just you, Molly, and me. 4, 5, 6, she do a line for my dick. 7, 8, 9, once I nothing you could slide. You know the vibes, you know the vibes. Don't talk to me, bitch, talk to my diamonds. Oh, this is it.
Guys, I'm
A snake snatching, bushwhacking adventure.
Currently, go to my likes. You'll find a bunch of
An unfathomable, incredible, strange journey. Deep in the jungle.
So turning it down. Music has stopped. Yeah, so news. I'm in Austin, Texas, and Texas is reopening. However, Austin, the leaders of Austin, the officials, are suggesting that we slow down, and so parts of Austin are opening, part are not. I teach a few days a week at a gym called Crux, and I was invited to go teach, and of course I said, yeah, I'd love to come back and teach. I love to teach. And then we have to only teach 6 people at a time in this gym that was designed to have 20 people class. So I'm looking forward to it either way. It'll be really cool. I imagine I'll have a really tight-knit group of people. And something. Checking in. Right on, let's go. He doesn't know he's coming into a live. Oh, there he is. Bing bong, bing, boom, boom. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, warning, we're live.
How are you?
Yeah, no warm up, just right into it. Just, before you start saying how beautiful I look, I just want to warn you. Okay, you're live right now, baby. How you doing, man?
I couldn't be better. How about yourself?
Couldn't be better, dude. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We should talk about that, because that's not something a lot of people are saying, but it's something a lot of the people I associate with are saying.
Yeah.
But before we do that, welcome to another episode of Flow the Fuck Down. And please answer our first question. Who the fuck are you?
Who am I?
Who the fuck are you?
My name's Kyle Langan. My mantra, as I learned through my practice of steel mace, has evolved into I am the luminary of kinetic stories.
Oh, I am the luminary. That's who you are. You are the luminary, the light.
Yeah, a luminary is someone who shines a light on previously unknown knowledge, and kinetic is movement. And obviously the story piece is that a lot of times people don't realize they're stuck in the story that they're on. So I shine a light on how to move through the story that you're stuck on.
Oh, cool. And so, and you're a coach.
I am a coach. I am also a coach.
Is that not coaching? You taking somebody through that process, or is that coaching, or what do you call that?
Coaching is getting a result out of someone or out of the universe is the way I look at the word. Okay. And it was something I didn't see myself as, and thus I wasn't getting results from the universe and getting results from people. But I put pen to paper in the last 2 months and said that I am a coach. And if people started to gravitate to that, it was on me to acknowledge it the whole time. I was present to that challenge for probably 18 months.
Huh. So you're a coach.
I'm a coach. I am a coach.
But it's like such a big thing that you described, to like put it into a small word. It's an interesting thing, because, it sounds like you have a practice of healing.
I do.
And I do, so you're helping people.
Yes.
Find that same path. Maybe if I'm right or wrong. And so you must have like worn those shoes in order for you to prescribe them. Now, that's not always how it has to be.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we do like work from within, and then it leaks out. And so can you tell us a little bit about your journey with fitness?
Yeah, my journey with fitness started in 2003. I saw my uncle finish an Ironman triathlon in Lake Placid, New York. And this was back before it was really popular. Obviously, there was no social media. There was no internet. So how people drew inspiration from, this event was going in person and watching people who were 70 something years old complete 140-mile triathlon. And it forces you to take notice that maybe there are some things possible that you didn't acknowledge before. And the mantra that they give you, you pay to do the race, but the prize is a free mantra. It's not free. Your body pays a toll, but is that you are an Ironman, right? That's what you get.
That's what you get.
Yeah. So you hear it, and the company slogan, that's what they say to you when you finish, but their company slogan is that anything is possible. So you take notice, and I sort of take notice at a young age that, I was, there you go. Wow, look at that. Took notice at a young age that anything was possible. And in 2012, I did one. I was 22 years old. My college years, I was really heavy into weightlifting and bulking, and really set out right when I had graduated college to do one of these things, and put my mind into it. I basically only trained for triathlons for like 18 months before I did an Ironman. So I've been a lunatic for a long time.
So, dude, I got to look through a little bit of, what you were into, and, I found you pedaling or swimming. But it really like showed you in this super competitive light.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're jacked, bro. You're fucking jacked. In all of the different photos I saw of you, you were a super competitive athlete, and this is what it looks like.
Yeah, man. I was 155 in that picture.
Okay.
And right now I am 185. So, and I'm a healthy, fit adult. I exercise regularly. So that's why I like to call my fight weight.
That's your fight weight.
Yeah. If I was pedaling a bike and running every day, yeah, that's 155 right there.
That's the competitive weight. That's like what you need to be at to swim and have enough to push pedals. And
yeah, look at my face. You could see the bones in my jaw and my cheek.
As cool as that looks like as cool as that looks like, that I know the process of maintaining that through competition.
Yeah, it was a lot more. I gave myself no grace when I did that, and looking back, psychologically, there was a toll.
Wait. Hold on a second. I can't unsee stuff.
Go ahead.
I got this horrible pattern. It never stops. Okay. Glasses.
Yeah.
Sunglasses. You see them?
Okay. No. Okay. I didn't see that. I didn't see that screen.
Oh, you did not see that one?
No.
Okay. It didn't come up. There it is.
Yeah. Oakley. Yeah.
Okay. Oakley's. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's one.
I've been a big.
What's this guy wearing? Oh, damn! It did it again. Anyways, I've shown 2 pictures of you, bro.
Yeah.
And you've had killer glasses on, and then you started to live off by putting on awesome glasses. Is it true or false? When you put your glasses on, is that your superhero costume?
It's true. It's true.
Good, man. I'm a superhero too, so I can see the superhero. Tell me about that. Tell me about putting on your Oakleys and getting into competitive mode versus you when you're lounging.
So you brought this idea to my attention just now. This is something that I was acting on subconsciously for 15 years. I never thought of it until now. So right now, I got these blue light protective glasses when I started quarantine, basically March, saying I'm going to be looking at a screen a lot and want to, protect my eyes from the excess blue light. And also that did breed another identity as now I'm the man in the chair, effectively. Like I help people through coaching calls in this setting. And So this is my superhero cape now. You know, the Oakleys were not a relic.
It's like that saying, you can take the homie out the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the homeboy. I get it.
Yeah.
Just because you're, we've all shifted to this digital platform doesn't mean we can't still put on our superhero suits and help people from another way, which is, I think where you're at now. But before we get into like where you're at now, originally, I remember the first day I met you.
Yes.
And
so do I.
Yeah. Well, let's go rock, paper, scissors for who goes first, okay?
Shoot. All right.
Ready? All right, cool. Well, I think you cheated, but you still won. I'll go first. All right. So I thought I knew everybody in the Mace community pretty well. And we did a workshop. This is when I was still doing workshops in New York City, one of my favorite motherfucking places in the world. And you showed up.
Yes.
And there was you standing next to Brandon Meatbomb.
Yeah.
And you guys were just shredding. I mean, it was when I used to teach like the advanced like sword swings and mills and those things. And that was actually the first class I taught any of the mace animal work.
Yes, I remember doing that.
Nick was there, but you were just like this amazing, like quiet, badass dude. And that's what the first day I met you.
Yeah, so few people that know me would refer to me as quiet, but when I'm in a quiet state, I'm in a absorbative state. I was just there, really experiencing, all this. I remember a couple things distinctly from this workshop.
Damn.
One was, meeting you. I remember day one, go in, do the workshop. So I'm fast forwarding a little bit. Didn't really have any one-on-one interaction with you. Day two, saw you in the doorway going in to the workshop for day two. And I said, man, this was like a lot physically harder than I thought it was going to be. And you took a sip of your Bang energy and you were like, Leo Savage, what do you expect? And I was like, yeah, okay. I get it now.
I remember that.
And then you explained to me that the steel mace was the weapon of the 21st century, in that it's like MMA. You have closed chain loop of energy and open chain loop of energy. And I said, wow, that really makes a lot of sense as well. That was about all I could process, because my brain was feeding all the energy to my legs to keep me standing after day one.
Yeah.
I remember I hadn't really strived fitness-wise I moved from New Jersey to South Carolina in 2015, and between 15 and 17, I really got complacent. And when I went to that workshop, it was so hard. The first day was so hard. I blew my legs out. And I remember learning what anti-rotation was for the first time, grabbing onto that mace. I went to the bathroom 4 times thinking I was going to throw up.
Oh, man.
Yeah, first day of that. And I pushed myself. Not everybody was. And I said, man, this is I re-tapped into that like Iron Man level training energy that day. I was like, man, you still got another gear. You're just finding a different way to get there now. Huh. So yeah, that was day one. Day one, I almost threw up 4 times. I had to take a break in the bathroom.
Just to that's awesome that you found, something, man, fuck, dude, the mace, things just come full circle.
Yeah.
I retook my course, or I took my course, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
it's tough. Yeah. And you were at an age where none of these ideas had been really adapted. So, I mean, you guys were getting bombarded with some amazing things. But even though it was very tough. You were like, no, I'm gonna fucking, this is why I'm here. I'm making this thing happen. And then you found it. The mace brought you back your competitive spirit. Or not like internally competitive. I don't know, because there was fight or flight, and you accepted.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. Getting back in touch with that. It's really a practice of the modern day warrior. Really, it really is. It looks to a layman like you're really just dancing. There's a lot of work going on there, and I learned that work in that workshop. I also learned in that first workshop how to make the basics beautiful, and that people like myself and like Brandon, there's different styles of fighters in the UFC. There's people that fight at 200 pounds, like a Daniel Cormier has a totally different style than a Jorge Masvidal versus featherweight fighters. And I thought that's like this, like Leo does his thing a certain way, and I can create something of my own here. So it was my mind got turned on to something as well as my body. I say, wow, I can actually put myself in the best shape I've ever been in and do it in style.
In style.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of, that's neat. Style is important.
Yeah. Oh, the throwback.
All right. So if I press play, it gets all weird. So I just do frame by frame. And so flow the fuck down. We get to watch you flow literally frame by frame. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be able to see this immediately. But once we get out of this step 2 bow and arrow, there it is, guys. You see it?
The sunglasses.
Sunglasses, boy. The motherfucking sunglasses. Here's a very nice top switch. All right, guys, notice how these motherfucking knees never look at the floor. They always look towards the sky. This is important so there's no shearing in the knee. Thank you for being an excellent example of how to transition from left side to right side. So you're not going up to a peak, locking both legs out. Beautiful stuff. Top switch. I love this moment right here when the mace head rests right in front of the heart.
Yeah.
I love that because there's the symbolism of what you do with that.
Yes, there is. The waterfall, as you may have picked up on
this. Look at this lean though, motherfucker. Look at this shit, bro. Let me talk to you about this. This is not good form.
No, it's horrifying.
But no, relax. It's beautiful though. And sometimes the important part, you said it, is cool. And because there is some bend in your spine, you can see the emotion. I happen to think it's beautiful. And for somebody who's put some time in and understands, hey, you work from within and then you work outside. It's natural that the mace artist is going to bend the lines. The fact that you tuck your chin in and you lay on your shoulder is where the identity is, the beauty of your movement. Where, yes, you're not doing a Leo Savage impersonation. You are being you. Yes. Because I told you to keep your shit straight. You know, it's funny, I never keep my shit straight, even though I tell people to. Beautiful bow and arrow, top switch on the other side. Again, dropping the chin. Little flick of the wrist lets the mace hang for a second. Nice inside pull. And that, dude, that right there has been your move.
Yeah, man.
Right there has been your move. And it's been your move for a long time.
And that's why I started to put 2 and 2 together around the fight style, because you can watch any of the mace artists or any of the people out there in the community and say, like, yeah, that's that person. Say they own that. And you could say the same thing about fighters. You know, it's like, hey, Conor McGregor's got a great left hand. And
he does it just, yeah, he has his own way of doing it, even though we've seen people do
right.
tons of it. So I just want to show these two clips because this,
Oh, we're going way back. Yes.
we're not actually going way back. This is the last video you posted. You just posted it in color. So you don't have to go searching through your Flow Vault to find your video. But whether this is, you were talking about being yourself in it, that little bottom grab that we paused on, back when you were just learning, like, well, what is flow? What happens if I move with this thing?
Right.
There's the hip hinge swing. And then there's that bottom grab again.
Wow. I almost needed a good dentist there.
Yeah, I think that all this old stuff is just beautiful because it's like motherfucking journaling, son. The work's not done the first time you write down the thing you're gonna do or take the step, right? It's the story. But what happened was you kept practicing that, hey, I found my competitive self and I found this thing and the maces brought something back to me and I get to be myself in it. And if you just keep retelling that story over and over, the technique becomes beautiful. But if the technique was just beautiful, then who cares? But it's the story.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily about the work. I've come to find out it's more about the message. And so Still Mace has been part of your life and it's introduced you to some other, I don't know, avenues of thinking. And besides just coaching Mace, what are you up to?
So actually just yesterday, I launched the beta of my online program. It's called the Human Bamboo Project. I decided to name it that because bamboo is incredibly durable and capable of enduring stress in its environment. I thought, Arnold Schwarzenegger was known as the Austrian oak. That was one of his nicknames, and bodybuilders were like oak trees.
Yeah.
And started to look at, what did CrossFit build, and came up with a nature analogy for it. And it was what I kept thinking was redwood trees in California, those real big, dense trees, and just thought that they're really susceptible to bad weather breaking. Yeah. And thought, what are people looking for next? I was sitting in an airport in Charlotte, North Carolina, when I had a girl approach me who was going to the same destination, and she said, "Do you know of any gyms?" When I get there, this was February of this year, right before COVID-19. And I said, "Yeah," and she said, "No CrossFit gyms. Just looking for squat, bench, deadlift, accessibility, basics." And we got into this conversation and just sort of came out that I said that people would be taking on more the personality of that bamboo. They want to know, how do I live longer? How do I be durable? And how do I be malleable? You can make bamboo into a house. You can make it into a spoon. People live in huts and they use it to make utensils. So I said, yeah, people are going to want to have that mastery and they're going to want to have that durability and that longevity. So my personal mission is to reduce stress in 1 million people in the next 10 years. So if you go to my website, which is humanbambooproject.com, you'll note that, my beta 60-day program is, hey, lose that final 10 pounds in the next 60 days. And the reason that's there is twofold. One, I believe the number one thing holding people back from getting in the shape they want to get in is stress.
Okay.
And the other thing, and this is really what I'm looking for in the beta program. I've got 4 people committed. I can handle 2 to 3 more. So if anyone listening, moms, I thought about moms being the people who are responsible and for reducing the most stress. If they're in a good place as a human being, they can reduce stress in the household. And they're the people that take on the most stress. They take on the most. So, my target client is really moms. And I had a conversation with a few of them. They were in on the mission, when I narrowed it down to that audience, and they said, yeah, this is for me. I want to give myself more grace. I want to feel less stressed and not selfish for prioritizing myself. And those are three things that eat at you and hold you back from meeting your goals. So the course is mobility work, it's breath work, it's story work. It's designed to get you consistent. Build consistency in your own schedule so that you feel good on a day-to-day basis, and the results breed themselves from there.
That's you?
That's me.
Oh, beautiful.
That's me.
I love the idea of the symbolism of bamboo, and why you chose it.
And thank you for bringing this to the table in the conversation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, like I was talking about. So if I want to schedule a discovery call, tell me about what a discovery call is like.
Yeah, a discovery call is me listening.
Sure.
It's me listening to a prospective client's needs and what's holding them back from achieving their goals. Because at the end of the day, coaches, right, are synonymous with speed. Right, you speed up results. So what's the result that you're looking for? What do you want? What do you want? That's what I'm open to receiving in a discovery call from prospective clients is, what do you want? What is it that you're really seeking? And what roadblocks are there? And we help move through that quickly.
What's a good way for somebody to all right, so a wellness coach has been bastardized.
Yes.
What do you do for a living? You're a wellness coach. You go on a Craigslist looking for a job coaching. Oh, you come be a wellness coach. Sign up for us. How is what you're doing different from being a wellness coach?
I'm so thankful you asked that question, because I agree. If I said I was Pepsi, half the people on earth would say that gives me diabetes. I don't want it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what comes to mind when you say wellness coach.
Yeah.
Immediately, half the people are out.
Yeah.
The difference is that when you've got a mission and you've got an avatar, not a target audience, but a specific person that you really want to work with. And in this case, time crunched, overstressed, moms who preside over a household and a family, that has a heartbeat, and people sign up for that because the coach understands the struggle.
Yeah. And then I think I don't think there's, what I've noticed is the wellness coach, it had a purpose and there were some things that they covered, but we know a lot more on how to operate now based off of what's worked. And so you have these people who were into helping people out, being wellness coaches, holistic health coaches, who have sought like other means of healing and thinking. And so wellness coach is not a bad thing, but there's like this new Jedi version of it. And there's a lot of weird Jedi-ness to it. I swing a mace to teach people to heal. I mean, that's literally what I do. And so, what's your main medium of healing? Is it breath work? Is it journaling? Is it goal assessment?
For me, the story work.
And it might not be a fair question to ask you to pick one.
For me, the story work, when you get with a client and you get on a Zoom call or a Google Hangout and you open up a Google Doc
Mhm.
and you start to give them the option to speak differently about themselves and their circumstances,
Yeah.
that's when they take notice that their life can go a different way.
Yeah.
It's somebody who I think about, The Rock. Right? If you ever look at his Instagram, the dude is smiling like glowingly all the time, and you think, did he get that way because he's rich and famous, or was he that way and did he accumulate wealth and social significance because that's how he chose it?
So it wasn't the money.
Right.
It wasn't anybody out there. It's not the fucking money.
Yep.
It tends to be, this is real life shit.
Yes.
When I start making money, I get depressed. It is this weird trigger in me that when I start making money, I'm like, something weird happens. And so I guarantee you, it's not the money. Anybody who's made money, if they were a pessimist before, they're a pessimist with money. If they were an awesome person before, but you can also create habits to make that happen, because let's be real, The Rock is a character that was built. It's part of storytelling.
Yes.
Leo Savage, right. That's the story I tell myself to make the decisions that I deem necessary. Guys, like, I will use this example when I go grocery shopping. There's always the $8 almond butter, and then there's like the $2 Jiffy. And I say Leo Savage eats awesome almond butter.
Right.
And so I can help make my decisions based off of this story that I've helped myself with. And so, I'll just speak for myself and my students. This is a process that works. Story building. And so story building, is it like creating a character, or is it like creating the world you want to live in? How do I identify what I want to do?
The answer to that is yes. It's all those things.
Okay, yeah.
It starts with the practical challenges that people struggle with.
Like the 10-pound thing.
Right. Every single day, the things that they're present to. They say, this thing is blocking me. And it's something that's external to them.
Mm-hmm.
And we shine a light, the luminary, on it's actually an internal thing. Like, are you blocking you from getting that? And in what ways are you doing that?
Yeah, so it's always you blocking yourself.
Right. It is.
I mean, sometimes you don't have a choice, like the pandemic, but let's be real. I'm the one making the fucking bad decision, at the end of the day, whether it's like a bad habit of eating or drinking or sleep or, whatever I'm not putting in, or, if I'm taking too much out.
Yep.
And so can you tell us about maybe some success that you've had in coaching? And I know it's not really polite to like necessarily name coaches, but just to get our students, or but just to get an idea of like, hey, this is what Kyle does. He takes a call with somebody and he puts somebody through his process, and then these were some of the measured results.
Yeah. So because this was something I launched very recently, people are still going through it, and the social proof will be there in the summer, and I can't wait for that. I say it will be there. It's something I'm so confident in, because by narrowing down the audience that works with me, and getting people whose mission aligns with my own, I know they're committed, and I know they'll get the results because it's about them. It's not about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's about them. And when they invest, it's time, it's energy, and as you said, the dollars are last. That's last. It's when something's got a heartbeat and it empathizes with you, you invest, and you invest the time and the energy, and the results come naturally. Because that's the first story work is committing to a coach, because you're saying, yes, there's a future I want to get there fast, and this person's going to help facilitate. and you're just there to anchor that because they're going to get there faster with you.
Yeah,
just because they're committed. That's it.
As cool as it is, or as it sounds, to go be the Shaolin monk and go put yourself in solitude for 20 years and master the thing. By the time you get back, shit's going to be so far changed. You're going to need to go back up. Yeah. And so having a coach is, it's important. So I've noticed a shift in you so we did a month-long mentorship in Steel Mace Flow. Am I correct? The level
November of 18, right? 18.
And there was a lot of philosophy in there and like how to help people out through using the mace.
Yeah.
And there was a process of like, hey, Leo, like, I don't know, man. I'm like, kind of want to be a coach. Not necessarily sure where the thing is, but there was, hey, this is what I'm doing now. And I see that that helping people is where I want to be.
Yes.
And so now I've never seen you so jacked up, happy, talking about and I'm going to call it work, to just call it work so people know what I'm talking about. But dude, it's so awesome to see you in this light and happy about what you're doing. And yeah, man. So congratulations on finding, I don't know, purpose.
Yeah, I remember the call. I remember it was the first call, one-on-one, you and I, and, you kicked it off by saying, you don't really want to be a coach, do you? And I didn't hesitate. I was like, no, I just wanted to learn mace, look cool. And you know what? The reason that I didn't, the reason I was so quick to say that was, I had seen you guys up close. I'd seen you and I'd seen Serena and a lot of the folks at the workshops. And I thought, I have a job that I enjoy and a girlfriend and a home life. And I just think, man, these people, they're Batman all the time. If you're a coach, you're Batman 24/7. And I was like, I want to be Batman and Bruce Wayne. I still like this element of me, but as it turns out,
time out. You have used the fucking dopest people: The Rock, Jorge Masvidal, Conor McGregor, Batman, Bruce Wayne. Fucking shout out to coaching to the level, dude. I love this. I'm in on this. Okay, I'm sorry. Batman, Bruce Wayne, all the time.
Yeah, I saw you, and this was a story. This wasn't real. I just saw the coaches, the fitness coaches, as like always in it and being Batman 24/7. It's like, yes, sometimes I want to be Bruce Wayne too. Like, I don't always want to be Batman. So I shied away from that. I dabbled in, and I asked you, to, welcome me as a coach at the Tampa workshop, which was in the early spring of 19. And I doubled down on the feeling after that coaching was something that you're all in or you're not. And that was a story too. And I remember a moment in that weekend too, where, we were in an Uber and, you flicked on the Instagram live and we were just having a regular conversation, and you broke into this character. And me in a year ago, 2019, I'm sad to admit I judged that. I was like, oh, is he faking that? Is he really like, because I see what he's really like right now, and that's not really him. But now I get it. And I understand that it's not fake at all. Because when you have the joy in what you do, you just emit that when you're doing it. And that's what elevates you to that level. I judged it unfairly. And that was the story I had about myself too. I was judging that within myself. Like, if I became another thing, I was judging myself, and I was judging the coach personality on the whole. And it was because other people had joy in it that I didn't have. And that's a tough admission.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. That's deep.
Yeah.
and just to, you know, it's great when you're having thoughts and you share them, and then you find out, you know, like it's tough being Leo Savage all the time.
Yeah.
It's my greatest joy. But it's, you know, if it's your greatest joy, it's gonna kick your ass sometimes. Yeah. And like I got super sick during this COVID thing at the beginning, and I didn't want to get online and like freak people out too much. And so you have to start making choices, like as a leader, as you start stepping into, thank you for bearing with our, you know, bearing or sharing with us, and, you know, just to, you know, share back as you step into a leadership role, it'll happen. You'll not feel like putting on a face, but you will. And it's not disingenuous to turn it on for people, but, you know, it's not like it's okay. So storytelling, you know, the chapters build the story. So you can't let go of the past. I know it's like, oh, you got to let go of the past. That's not you anymore. This is the new you, but that's not reality. I am very happy with who I was at all times to make me here and now. This is the thing I learned from Mark England, was to celebrate my past. And once I stopped fighting with, like, man, I was a drug addict. I started to read people who had drug addiction problems now have somebody they could talk to. And so, you know, it's important to be yourself. You can't erase who you are with the character. And this is the thing. Somebody asked me, they said, Leo, how do I convince people to get into flow? No. I said, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're a badass motherfucker, like an awesome human, and you do something like a madman, like no matter how weird it is, people will go, oh, that's cool. Yeah. So ultimately, just no matter what identity you built for yourself, being an awesome human through that is like the consciousness of like where we're at now. Yeah. All my friends who are helping people with stresses, like real world problems, they're all flourishing. They're all doing great. And I'm not talking in like money, and that might be some of it, but like I said, I've never seen you so lit up about work. Yeah. I've never been happy to work. Right. But here I am, like so convinced that this is so much fun. This can't be work. This is just how you should live. Right. Yeah. So let's give like a top 3 advice that you could give to somebody today who is kind of stuck somewhere. They're on chapter 1 of the masterclass flow. They feel like, hey, I'm this competitive person. I've had this nature behind me of like being a Spartan, but now reality's changed and I need to make a change. What are a couple things I could do to stop arguing with reality?
The first is a good question. And the answers, they came up. The first is to think about your life, identity, and your world as a garden. And sometimes you need to weed the weeds so other things can grow. Some things by nature have to die. Habits, beliefs, and so those got to go. And you can choose. Right? There's choice. Danny Rios told me this. Choice and decide. Decide comes from the same root word as pesticide, homicide, etc. But when you choose, you choose powerfully. You create a new result. So you choose to lean into something new. How does that work and how does that look? Don't judge yourself. That's the key to making that work. I heard this past week a saying on knowledge is just a collection of the things you learn over your life. But perspective is the container that you hold that knowledge in, and how fast you grow that container depends on how quickly you can stop judging yourself for believing something else before.
Huh.
So that's been, I can only answer that so quickly and so accurately because it's been a big struggle for me. It's, yeah.
Yeah. And man, so this has been good, man. I didn't know how deep into the game you've got. It seems like you really found a space. And so how many students are you working with now?
Right now, 4. I'm getting off the ground now. This is just something that has.
I just always love to ask somebody when they're first starting, like how many people they have, because check this out. I'm the guy who created Steel Mace Flow. I'm the fucking mace dude. I still have classes with 4 people in them. That'll never change. That'll never change. You're always going to have classes of a couple bits of people. And I've really enjoyed teaching the smaller classes. We had an experience in New York where we taught like 30 people in 7 hours, the level 1 certification. And I didn't get to meet anybody. And so it was like
solace. And what was that? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And you were there. And I was like, never again. Like, it was like one of the bigger paychecks we had made, especially for the time.
Yeah.
But it was like, no, like, what was so-and-so's name? And I didn't get to cry once.
Oh, that's not, you read the intro about your mission day 1. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. They're a little bit. I remember that though. I remember like, as I started telling the mission, like, oh man, you can't go as deep as you want. But dude, that was a great, man. We've had some good experiences, brother. Coaching with you in Miami was awesome.
Yeah. You know what? It takes on such greater context over time, and which I knew it would. That's the second piece of the question you asked about 2 minutes ago. For anybody who's stuck right now is hunger to learn. Sometimes you don't have to know why you're investing time or energy into something, but do it. Like I decided to put Enlifted, the Strong Coach, and Steel Mace certifications on my LinkedIn. It's not a degree, but it shows people I just want to learn stuff. I don't stop learning. I want this.
Yeah.
And those 2, think of money, right, is currency. So it flows like a river has a current.
Yeah.
And so drop the judgment on investing to learn. Start letting that gate flow out.
So what you're saying is invest in
learning. Yeah.
Why not just do it for free? Come on, man. This is the future.
Because it anchors you to the process of learning.
Yeah. When we have competitions and somebody wins a certification, the number of those that have been completed, it's small.
Yeah.
If somebody paid for one, it was, it's different when you invest, when it's coming out of your pocket. And this is what I know about spending money is I like a fucking return. I like it when that money comes back. And if you're doing the right thing, like, something you enjoy, something you love, like something you're super fired up about, like coaching. But that's a great investment.
It is.
Yeah. So what weird hobbies have you picked up during quarantine? What's the weirdest thing you've bought?
Weirdest thing I bought. I think weird.
Oh man, that's like been all I've bought is weird stuff.
I bought something called Liquid IV, which has a ton of electrolytes in it.
Okay.
because I realized I was using a standing desk. I was doing mobility every day, and I actually just burned myself out. I never worked out more than when I started in quarantine. And
True.
probably the weirdest thing I didn't buy it is I decided to move. I moved into a new apartment. So in the middle of a pandemic, renting it.
You're not the only one, man. There's a
Yeah.
lot. There's surprisingly enough, that's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the most interesting investment I would say I made. And then yeah, just started to look at some different wellness products on it. I never tried New Mood before. Started taking that before bed. Their nitric oxide as well. So, bands as well, resistance bands, invested in those, as well as just like Arunga balls from they're like lacrosse balls for myofascial release. Started to focus. The pandemic. I feel like I've aged 2 years since it started.
Really?
Yeah, just because of the different things. I was like, oh, back in March, I was doing all this mobility, and then self-care has been a big investment where it's essential versus non-essential. Great phrase across the board, because now we're looking at that in our life. It's not just business.
Yeah.
Every company is looking at essential versus non-essential employees. I mean, you look at the unemployment, it sucks. It's tough. But it's a reality check for Earth. So what do I need? And I'm just shedding the things I don't need.
I have this really bizarre thought, and I can't really articulate it yet. But it's this thought of, if you were a company and this pandemic hit and you didn't need to shift at all to maintain, you were serving a product that was built for the future.
Yes.
And because this isn't an abrupt stop, like this is like, hey man, when pollution gets super bad, when the oceans get super bad, like we're going to be at this quarantine level in the future. And so some people had to pivot. If you were a hard box gym, no internet access, no Wi-Fi, you come in, you lift weights, that dinosaur, went. So just this interesting thought of, because I know this thing's affecting everybody at this really horrible level. So I'm not trying to downplay or say this was a good thing, but one thing that has happened is it's shown a light to the services that are essential.
Yes.
Like hourly employees are like the backbone of the economy. What would we do without like the hourly employee?
It's interesting what you're saying too around, okay, CrossFit gyms and box gyms is the thing that is going away as a result of this is maybe Dick's Sporting Goods Nike doesn't need Dick's Sporting Goods to sell their shoes anymore. And, CrossFit coaches don't need the gym. Now, every single one of them is toiling every night and every day right now to figure out how to set themselves up as their own business with a heartbeat that coaches people and makes a living without the vessel of the gym. And
but how do you teach CrossFit through Zoom? Who has a CrossFit rig and flooring? And
people just want to look a little better and be a little more confident.
Yeah, but the model doesn't work. You can't teach CrossFit and unless you got a home gym, but it's like something like you're building that focuses on the vessel. That's a sustainable model for the future. That's something that will always be of great service. So just an interesting look at, as we go into this, what business models, who was right. That's what I'm interested in. Who was right?
Yeah.
So all right, man. Well, it's been good, man. Anything you want to leave with?
Yeah, just a real sincere thank you. You were the first person to acknowledge me as a coach, somebody, outside myself. You saw me as that before I saw myself as that. So I'm thankful for that. And the Mace, you being so gracious, taking people under your wing for for years now. That turned me on to the stories, the story work. You brought up Mark. He's a mentor of mine now, phenomenal person. Just these people are doing incredible work in the world. Yourself, Mark, Enlifted, Strong Coach, all these people are they care deeply for people's progress, for people's livelihood. And you talk about who's right. That's something that's always going to be right in the end. That's always going to be in integrity.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, thank you, man. I'm very honored. And, I only honor those who show up. And that was, you showed the fuck up every time. And I'm honored to have you as a student. A great thing about the Still Mason, it happens, but people transition. Sure, they still practice the mace. They still have, maybe they put it down entirely. But once you see life through, this is the thing I'm working on, you start looking at other avenues of and if you're a mace person out there and you're going through personal development, trying to build yourself or understand how to lose some of this quarantine anxiety, don't do it by yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be a Shaolin monk at the top of a mountain. You're going to need to come down and you're going to need to go back up. Kyle, thank you so much for joining me, man. This was cool. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your life and what you're up to nowadays. And you're on Instagram. I know we have the Human Bamboo Project.
Yep. That's my the business page for it. Actually haven't updated it this week, but it's on my to-do list, and will be like I said, the beta program is live now, so I couldn't be happier about that. Couldn't be more excited. It's been a transformative time the last 2 years since getting into the mace, and the past couple months launching this. I'm grateful for the process.
Right on, brother. Thank you for hanging with us today. Guys, this has been another episode of Flow the Fuck Down. We'll see you guys next